Hey everybody, it's Krog here, and this is going to be a video response to a video that 8 Thoughts did titled TmarTn Exposed. He's paid by Activision. TmarTn defends Infinite Warfare. In this video, 8 Thoughts, you said a lot of dumb and very well-known things, which seems to be your thing to do on the internet, is to say stupid things and to talk about subjects you don't really have any kind of educated knowledge about. You just kind of spurt bullshit and use clickbaity titles. So, hey, whatever works for you, bro. So, you were talking about how TmarTn is paid by Activision. I didn't know it was a secret that TmarTn, as well as other YouTubers like Ollie, they work very closely with Call of Duty and Activision and studios such as Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer Games, and Treyarch. This is not anything that was news. To my knowledge, I thought everybody knew that these YouTubers work very close. They got access to the game before anybody else. Prime example of this was a couple years ago. The official strategy guide for Black Ops 2, TmarTn was credited for the creating of said official strategy guide. The official strategy guide came out at the same exact time as Call of Duty, as the game did, on the same release day. So if he didn't have early access to the game, how in the hell would he help create a strategy guide for the game? Yes, he has early access to the game. He's probably already played Infinite Warfare. He has insider knowledge. This is kind of the norm now with big YouTubers. It's the same case over on the Battlefield side, where, the Battlefield gang, Jack Frags, X Factor, Matimio, and the rest of the gang, if I'm leaving anybody out, I don't mean to sell you short, but they all had access. They all got to see exclusive footage that the rest of the world didn't get to see at the Battlefield 1 release. They even got to play the game, and that later came out from a picture that was tweeted out by DICE that, hey, a bunch of these YouTubers, they got access to the game. They have exclusive content, they have insider information, but they all signed NDAs, so they're not going to be leaking any information that's not public. This is the standard, this is the norm. So yes, TmarTn does get exclusive access, at least to my knowledge. I don't know the guy personally, but I didn't know it was a secret that he got exclusive access to the game prior, and he was, in return, he gets to help promote the game and talk about the game, and he gets the exclusive access first, which gives him a leg up on his competitors. In exchange, he helps promote the game to his very large fan base, etc. It's, quid pro quo, but everybody wins. I didn't know this was a secret. And then you talk about how Infinity Ward is not Infinity Ward. So yes, a bunch of the key members of Infinity Ward that originally created the original Call of Duty, including COD 4, they left and created their own studio, Respawn Studios. That is correct. But you talk about how Ghost didn't have any developmental issues, and the game just sucked because it sucked. There was a lot of things stacked up against Ghost. First off, this is the first true multiplayer game that the new Infinity Ward staff had ever made. The first multiplayer was Modern Warfare 3, and if you go back and you read and you do research, you realize that Sledgehammer Games actually did the multiplayer portion for Modern Warfare 3, and Infinity Ward did the single-player portion of Modern Warfare 3. So Ghost was their first multiplayer experience. The other technical aspect, hurdle you would say, they had to jump over was they had to cross-develop for 2 console generations at the same time. They had to make sure the game ran on Xbox 360 and PS3, as well as the new consoles that everybody hadn't had much time to play with, the PS4 and Xbox One, as well as PC. They had a lot to work through and a lot to go on versus what the other studios had, where the consoles had already been out for a long time. They knew the architecture, and they didn't have to make a game that worked on 5 different platforms. They had to make one that worked on 3 platforms. And I know technically in the development, usually they develop for one main platform. Traditionally, back in the Xbox 360 days, they would develop for the Xbox 360, and the game would then be ported over to the other console, like the PS3. The evidence of this was found in Black Ops 2, where if you dug into the settings menu on the PS3, the settings menu actually referred to Xbox 360 controls on the PS3 copy, because it was a port. But they had to make it for 4 different consoles, 2 different console generations, running very different architecture, very different hardware, vast performance difference, as well as ported over to PC. So yes, they did have developmental issues. I'm not defending Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I'm not excited for that game in whatsoever. Game looks pretty sad to me. I too am tired of the space jetpack bullshit that's going on. Not a fan. I also don't like the fact that they grouped in the COD 4 Remastered with the Infinite Warfare, so you have to buy the deluxe version to get COD 4 Remastered. But the reality of it is, Activision is a corporation. They're out to make money, and they knew that doing so would boost the revenue of Infinite Warfare. It's also the reason they're not bringing back the COD collections to the current gen consoles, and they're doing it for last gen on the Xbox 360 and PS3, is because it would also deflate sales on the current gen consoles. So here's the thing you got to look at Activision. They've spent a lot of money over in the last year or so. They bought a studio, because it's Blizzard Activision. They bought a studio. They are making presumably a Call of Duty movie. They're making a Skylanders TV show. They are currently in development of the Warcraft movie. They're spending a lot of money. They need investors. They need people willing to throw money at their company so they can continue working on these very large projects. In order to do so, they need to have proven track record, which they do, as well as continued success in the market. Well, what I can tell is they're going to take this year and they're going to talk about Call of Duty as a brand and not a single game. That is why we're getting so many COD releases, COD 4 Remastered, COD Classic Collections on the last gen consoles, as well as COD Infinite Warfare, and they're going to lump it all in as the Call of Duty brand as sales. This is a sales technique. This way they can release numbers through the PR department, making that Call of Duty is back, it's bigger than ever, etc., getting investors interested to continue funneling money at them as they put out tons of games this year. I mean, they have the remastered COD 4 Remastered, the Call of Duty Collection, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. They have Overwatch, and they have the Destiny expansion coming out. They got a lot of stuff in the fire, as well as a Warcraft expansion coming out, which I know the development team over at Blizzard takes care of all of the development side of that, but Activision does own Blizzard, so it's still coming out of their giant money pockets. Alright, well, this video's gone on long enough with me ranting. I didn't actually plan for it to be this long. I just want to say, don't go out there and start smearing bigger YouTubers to make your own money, try and make money and steal hype off of it, and talk bullshit you don't know about, or try to make public, very obvious information seem like it's a big secret and oh my god, you're exposed, when it's not. So please, I know that's kind of your game, but it's tiresome, and I just get tired of seeing you talk bullshit out your ass and when you don't even know what you're talking about. Anyway, this has been Krog. Hope you have a nice day. And 8 thoughts. Pull your head out of your ass. Do some research. Try to talk on subjects you know about. Have a good one. This is Krog. Peace. Bye.